All right, this week's chapter of Fairy Tail, chapter 409, was exactly what I was hoping for. It was Sting and Rogue overcoming their trial of defeating their former guildmaster and overcoming, the fear they had of him, before. But it doesn't start off that way. It starts off with Gray and Natsu, of course, attacking Mardgear. And Mardgear obviously being more badass than ever. He's faster, he's stronger. And he just starts flying off with both, Gray and Natsu in both his hands. Just starts slamming their face against the wall and just scraping them while they're going up. Now, I know in Shonen, they're not going to show your skin being scraped off. And it would happen if that was going on. But I mean, they have to take some kind of damage from that. It's like, come on, you're scraping against concrete. That's gotta hurt. But, of course, it's Fairy Tail, it's Shonen. There's no way that's going to happen. But still, yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, looked painful. But then, we go over to Sting and Rogue fighting, I don't even care what his name is. Jalama. I'm calling him Jim. They're fighting Jim. And, of course, they're, overpowered. Jim is a demon now. He's, stronger than ever. And it's finally revealed that he's actually the one who suggested to Mardgear, or probably to the other demons, and my daughter can also become a demon too. She's sort of strong. And of course, it's like, you bastard, how can you do that to your own daughter? He just says like, she's just a tool to be used. I mean, I made her more powerful than ever. I made her more glorious than her former self. And it's like, okay, that's a asshole thing to do, but whatever. She's better now. She's good, on the good side of good now. That's fine. But of course, that gets Sting and Rogue, riled up. You bastard, we're gonna take you down. And of course, they're fighting, saying like, we were weak before. Like, you're right about that. But it's not in the usual sense that you would think we're weak. We were weak because we didn't believe in our friends. We didn't treat, our guildmates like family, like we should have. We were just too weak to stand up to you. But now we're much stronger than ever. We're backing each other up. That's what's ultimately the point here. This episode is just reiterating friends, make us stronger. Guilds, they're like family. They're the ones that give us strength. And I agree, to some extent, like, your friends do help you in most cases. But Jim's little argument, like, you have to believe in your own individual strength. Now, if you worded that a little differently, you can say that that's also true. I mean, we're looking within yourself, trusting yourself, and really, delving into your own soul to find that inner strength to overcome any obstacle is also true. So these ideologies are not essentially wrong. It's just, it all depends on the actions of, the believer of these ideologies. And Jim, of course, is using it wrongly. He's just like, this just means that I'm the only one who's, I should depend on. And I'm strong enough to do anything I want. Like, no, that's not what it means. But at the same time, Sting and Rogue have their arguments like, with our friends, we can work together, defeat any obstacle. And that's essentially what they're doing. And they use it right. They use a team attack to take Jim down. And it's an interesting attack. It's called the White Shadow Dragon's Rough Silk. Now, that might be just a rough translation of what it's supposed to be called, because that's just a mouthful. But what it looks like is just like they use the light, their light dragon, the magic and shadow magic. Like, it's kind of like, silk. And just like webs, and just start, launching them. They're like little tiny lasers and little razor sharp, ropes or whatever you want to call it, and they're going right through Jim, like kind of piercing him, like multiple bullets. And it's like, I guess it's kind of a bullshit thing, like, oh, one move and he's down. But I don't know, at this point, I think I'm used to Fairy Tail just kind of overcoming their opponents in one move, and that's it. But it's an interesting move. It definitely is. Combining two Dragon Slayer magics can probably have a different effect. Who knows? But there it is. Light and Sting. Sting and Rogue, overcome, Jim. They defeated him. They finally proven to themselves that they're strong enough to, fight for what they believe in. That's fine. They're backing each other up, but they're tired. They're done. It's like, we can't move anymore. Natsu and Gray, you have to, fight Marty Gear by yourself. And of course, Natsu and Gray just ready. Like, they just kind of push themselves off the wall that they're being scraped against and just punch Marty Gear into the, his face first into the wall again. And it's just like, yeah, we're on it. Now, I don't know if they actually were answering to them. Like, they can still hear them. I don't know how far they flew, but there it is. So yeah, now it's gonna focus on Natsu and Gray versus Marty Gear. Hopefully next chapter, like that fight's gonna be concluded. It does seem like Marty Gear hasn't really, gained any new abilities. He can just fly now, and he's faster, I suppose. But maybe we'll learn more about his new demon form next chapter. But yeah, this was mostly Sting and Rogue chapter, and it was a good chapter. I liked it. Jim was a bastard, but his ideology itself wasn't wrong. It was just, you need to find a balance between, believing in your own strength and also depending on the strength of the people around you. There's a balance there, and it just needs to be found. And I think Fairy Tail focuses a little too much on the whole friendship thing. I mean, it works out for them, but at a certain point, you have to believe in yourself too. I mean, the first person you want to impress, the first person you want to gain acknowledgement from is yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then there's no way in hell your friends are going to believe in you. Just saying. But again, like I said, that's probably not the argument they're trying to bring up here. It was just something I noticed and I wanted to talk about. If I didn't, then this review of mine would be really short because it was just a fight. I'll just be saying Sting and Rogue have trouble defeating Jim. They overcome Jim. Review over. So, I just want to talk about some things. But yeah, great chapter, great development for Sting and Rogue. I don't know why people don't like them. I mean, they're fine. I mean, you can say they're watered down versions of Natsu and Gray, but I don't know. I think they're unique enough to be their own characters, and they're interesting enough for me to be interested in what they're going through. In fact, if anything, I think Fairy Tail Guild members are kind of boring and kind of one-note characters to a certain extent. At least most of them are. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, next chapter is Marty Gear's fight, and maybe he'll be defeated next chapter. I don't know. This is kind of quick, maybe 2 chapters, and then I guess we can focus on Igneel versus Acnologia, and maybe even Zaref will make an appearance, or maybe End will finally be revealed. I have no idea. But either way, I'm excited. Can't wait for the next chapter. So until then, I'm Tony Dragon. Bye-bye.